I said it yesterday also, but it's not easy to get. It is small detail. You don't hear religion talk about that. That is what happened. That is the fall. It is the disconnection. So that is why I told you, sin, therefore, is anything that disconnects you from your intimacy, relationship with God. Sin is not what you have done, what you did. That's why I said, but you didn't, you look at the woman, you didn't sleep now, you didn't do anything. It is the disconnected. It is the disconnection. Whatever disconnects you is a sin. It could be your wife, your husband, your money, your work. It is the relationship. Where is your inspiration coming from? Where is your motivation coming from? Where are you depending in? Their motivation for their decision making was coming from God's instruction, God's spirit. But now they abandoned that and started orienting on the physical eye things. It started being the motivation of their actions and their reasons for. That is the fall. You became material. You became under the power of material. You became ordinary. You put yourself under the dominion of physical things. Things that you are supposed to use to serve God. The physical things you are supposed to dominate it. Use it to construct what you had, instruction you got from there, what you saw from there. You use physical things to build those things. But now you are now the one under, you are now waiting for physical things to be informing you. You are now the one following. Instead of you to be the one controlling and dominion. That is what was told you in Genesis chapter 1. You get instruction on what to do from God. You get the leading of what to do from God. And then you use these physical things as the raw materials to do them. That is what life is supposed to be about. That's why you are made in his image to be doing things like his ambassador, representative, and all the things on the earth, your more tools, raw materials, to construct the will of God on the earth as it is done in heaven. To enable you to be able to build the kingdom here as it is in heaven. That's what they were doing all along. That's why they were able to name all the animals. They were able to take care of the garden without destroying anything, without messing up, without, everything was functioning perfect. We don't know, maybe they were there millions of years before Satan came. Everything was running perfect. No tragedy, no destruction. But when they begin to live from things outside in, they were subdued themselves. The things they were supposed to be dominating is now subduing them. Whoa. So the secret of creation, or the power, the source and power of creation, or what do we call it? The topic of today. The secret of creating something from nothing is that whole idea of nothing is coming from the spirit. What we have been talking about since yesterday. From the spirit realm. From the inspiration, from the light, from the higher energy, from the acceleration. That is where, like Jesus, like God, he was moving over, then constructed the picture in his mind before he could talk. He could now say, he got the instruction. That's why he was moving over something. He was drawing the map of what were trees should be here, ocean should be here. Man will come the last day. This one will be for. That is what God was doing. That's exactly what you do too. You go to a consult with your Father, build relationship. When you are building relationship, ideas come to you, thoughts come to you. Then you develop those thoughts into pictures in what you want to do. Then you go ahead and action. And that's exactly what God did in Genesis. That is the secret of creation. You get inspiration, it becomes idea, it becomes a picture, then you develop, you commit it to book or to paper, then you develop, you slow down the energy. That is the source of the secret and of creating something from nothing. So that's the way they were living. That's why they were able to name millions of animals, billions of animals. They were getting inspiration. You were coming from there. That's why they were able to manage the whole earth in the Garden of Eden. They were getting inspiration from there. But once everything changed, it became from physical, because they were now depending on physical things. So now they have to now use physical power to do everything. Now, physical things became the predominant instead of spirit inspiration. That's why you have to now build, and now to have court. You have to have, we'll continue, I have to talk about that a bit later. I hope I'm not getting more complicated, you guys. Okay?
Genesis chapter 3, verses 4 to 5. Then the serpent said to the woman, "You will not surely die. For God knows that in the day..."
The whole thing he was telling, all those stories that Satan was telling, is to get our attention from inside. Distraction, to begin to be oriented by things outside. Are you people getting it now? All those stories were to listen, to get the attention over there. And once you are now being oriented and being this, you abandon that. You cut your relationship, cut your connection. Okay. That is the fall. The fall of man is that man went from being led by God, from being God dominated, from being spirit inspired, to empirical, physical, material being led, being subjected to, from being subjected to God to being subjected to happiness outside, to the material thing that God himself created. Yes, please.
For God knows that in the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil.
You see, all those stories are just to get her attention, convince her to believe. She believed him instead of believing the instruction they already had. God had already gave them the instruction.
Where does your reality come from? Inside out or outside in?
So that's the question. Do you now get the essence of that question? Their reality used to come from where?
From inside out.
Now you are getting it now. We are on the same page. So what happened after that fruit issue?
Outside in.
Of course, it became
outside in.
And up to now, what are we struggling with?
Outside in.
That's what they're preaching in churches, eh? Are you sure? Even churches are preaching it.
No, I'm just saying now that the churches have taken the place of Satan, because what they are actually doing is the truth. Because what they are actually doing is actually they are actually making people to focus on the external and disconnecting people from God. And that's why I say, after hearing such a message, you go back to that same place. It means the message has not entered. That's what I was just thinking.
Churches themselves
have taken the place of the devil.
Of serpent.
Yes.
Because they are telling you, you will get this, you will get this, you will be blessed. Your
cars is about cars, jets, marriage, everything is just external.
You know, when you were teaching, I can see what devil did when Jesus Christ, during his temptation time.
Yes.
The last one, he took him to the pinnacle.
Not just the last one.
No, not the last one, but that one.
Oh, the temptation.
Yeah.
The bread
is
from outside.
Yes.
Then the glory.
It's from the outside.
The temple.
From the outside.
Everything also is from
outside. But Jesus,
you see the same temptation.
Wow.
The same strategy. He got them to focus from inside. He was trying to get Jesus to focus from outside. Yeah. And that's what the pastors are falling for.
Yes.
They like that glory. Or the wealth, or the whole wealth of the earth. You think that's what they like, and he's right, because that's what they are preaching.
Yes. Prosperity.
That is the apostasy in
prosperity
gospel. But we are supposed to dominate. You are not supposed to look for that. You're supposed to use it to now build the kingdom of God. All the material things are supposed to be dominated by us with the energy that we get from with the power, with the inspiration we get, and then use it to build the will of God here on the earth. That's what you saw in Christine when you went. You see the lifestyle, totally different. Prosperity is not the leading factor, but they are rather subduing the earth and using the word to build the kingdom of God. That is what you see in the embassy of God here with Christianity. Yes.
I just want to ask that when there's this domination theology, is there the same challenge that domination to us?
That's the problem.
Because
it's not, they call it dominion, but it's actually prosperity.
Because we want to own everything.
It's for us,
yeah, because
not for the kingdom.
Yeah.
The dominion theology is the same thing as prosperity message, because they are telling you can have everything. It's just for you. It's not inspiration of God to subdue everything to God. It's about ego again. It's about the same greed. Dominion theology, there is something like that. Or dominion something they call it, yeah. Dominion theology, yeah, that's what they call it.
Romans chapter 3, verse 23. For all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God.
See what happened? So by the time they began to focus on the answer of they cut short. They fall short of the glory of God. They cut that because they got connected to the outside world and cut the relationship to the Spirit. And that's the glory of God. Sin always leaves you deprived of the glory of God.
Matthew chapter...
But let's now see Jesus, the way he approaches this and what he's trying to teach in his own life ministry.
Matthew chapter 15, verse 15 to 20.
You people are so lucky that God brought you people to this place. Blessed, yeah. I think blessed is the word. Not lucky, blessed. Huh?
I said chance didn't bring
Not chance.
Yeah, but God told us go.
You know what Jesus was used to say, that blessed are your ears for hearing and your eyes for seeing.
Then Peter answered and said to him, explain this parable to us. So Jesus said, are you also still without understanding? Do you not yet understand that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and is eliminated? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart, and they defile a man. For out
inside out. But the Pharisees were trying to pay emphasis to, why should you eat that? Why should you drink that? From outside. That's what the Pharisees. So he was trying to tell, so you are so dumb. Don't you know that it's what comes from it? Life is supposed to be from inside out, not from outside. That's why Christianity up to now and all those teachings, oh, don't do this. Have you come to church? Did you go on Sunday? Oh, you miss Sunday. You miss church. The holiness gospel is the same thing. Yeah. From outside in. So it is your trouser or you don't wear trouser that determines your righteousness. So righteousness is not from spirit. It's not from God again. It's from you, whether you trouser you wear or shirt you wear. You know, outside in instead of inside out. He wanted to say something.
I think this still boils down to the problem of ignorance. Because I, for myself, when I was still back in Nigeria in the village, if you wear trousers as a woman, you are a sinner.
Because you are taught like that.
Yes.
Is it not religion who taught
Yes.
you?
I'm so sorry to my cousins because I used to harass them a lot. Why you wear trousers? You're a woman. You should be a Christian.
For you, it was ignorance because you were taught. That's what you were told.
So coming to the Western world, it seems that things are not like that. So, this issue of packaging, is a distraction because it allows you to see from outside in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you are talking. Now you are talking. But packaging is the big thing in Nigeria now. They said there is a church in Abuja. That's it. They said they are the champion in packaging from outside.
I traveled to Nigeria and people want to know the church you want to go.
Yeah.
Which church are you going? Oh, is it this one?
What does it matter?
Because they expect you to go to the flamboyant,
the package one. Packaging, air conditioner,
Yes.
building, 100,000 seater. We have betrayed the gospel.
Yes.
Betrayed the gospel. Betrayed the Bible. So when I talk on a lot of things, since I cannot explain, I cannot be explaining this kind of thing every message now. Yeah. So I'm just saying what matters now to people who are listening to it. And I make some statements like there's no church in Nigeria, or some of my statements, because people don't know where I'm coming from, what I know, they begin to argue. And I said, why don't you just give me a benefit of the doubt? Maybe this guy knows something that we don't know yet. Or maybe you should ask him. Especially when you know that this guy is not a foolish guy. To make some statement that he's making, he's not as foolish as you put it. Why should you just make an assumption that is wrong? Whereas if you had asked, you would have been the most blessed person in your whole life. But our people don't have that patience. They always just come and attack and okay. Since that's where you are, you think you are right. You are already okay. Thank God for you. You want to be right. You be right now. Yes, please.
Verse 19.
No, start all over again.
Okay. Then Peter answered and said to him, explain this parable to us. So Jesus said, are you also still without understanding? Do you not...
He was talking... Okay, he is already aware that the Jews and Pharisees are without understanding. But this was Peter. This was his own. You see, they have been with him, but they are still struggling. He doesn't just get to them immediately that, what do you mean from inside out? So they say, but explain this thing to us. They really wanted to get it. And he was surprised himself, just like I am being surprised every day, that you people are not getting it yet. So he was not surprised about the Pharisees, but it was about his own people.
Do you not yet understand that whatever enters the mouth goes into the stomach and is eliminated? But those things which proceed out of the mouth come from the heart and defile a man. For out of the heart proceed evil thoughts, murders, adulteries, fornications, thefts, false witness, blasphemies. These are the things which defile a man, but to eat with unwashed hands does not defile a man.
For example, when I told people were asking me the question one time, there's a video that was released. If somebody commits fornication or something and dies, will he go to hell? But he's a Christian, he's been a Christian, he has personal relationship with God, but he just committed that sin and died. I said, okay, let me give you an example. You husband and wife, just came out of the house and fought in the car, not physically, and they have not been talking to one another, just for 2 minutes. And they had that accident and died. So where would they go? They said, that's different now. That's just... That's not a serious sin. But they don't know that in the eye... not just that it's a sin. The sin from outside doesn't matter so much. The biggest sins are the ones. You see, that is why things like unforgiveness, bitterness, and the things that come from inside, they are much more serious than fornication, smoke, drink, and things like that. But religion is only outside because Yeah. And those are the things they call sin. But what did Jesus say about forgiveness? You sin against your body only, you do forget. It's the one you didn't forgive. It's the one you didn't. You drinking while you go to toilet and put it out. You forget. You go to, you smoke with your body that you are killing. That's what Jesus is saying here. But the anger, the bitterness, the unforgiveness, the malice. That is why somebody asked me this week or so that at what condition will you use to say somebody can divorce? I said the only condition is if you are living together with that man or wife and you cannot forgive one another, you are always and you are always irritating one another. It's always making you angry. That is the only time you should get divorced. Either divorce officially or at least separated. Because if you keep on living, because we are Christians, the Bible says do not divorce. And you are getting yourself irritated, angry, you are not forgiving, that is what will take you right to hell. Because it is the inside. Huh? He's heavy. It is the thing that is inside. You cannot, but those things, other things that from outside, you see, you hear what Jesus is saying now? Papa. Papa go deeper. Major one. Major one. Deeper, Baba. Deeper, Baba.
Yes, Papa.
Someone wants to talk?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to talk.
Okay.
Right. I'm just following up with what Christian said. Right. Christian said, the apple. We've so much focused on the apple. What type of apple is that? That apple is all these extra. That is what we keep focusing on. And
microphone. Make you talk for microphone.
I'm sorry.
We have to repeat everything all over again. Make you talk now.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I was got distracted there. I said, just following up on what Christian said, when he said that it appears the churches have replaced serpent, right? Now I can also see that the apple, like we have always focused on, right? What was the apple? What did it do? What kind of fruit was it? What was it? And things like that.
And you are smoking, you are drinking, you are sleeping, you are doing this.
Those are those things that are the
Outside.
smoking and the outside ones and all. And then we now ignore the greater issues, which is the Genesis 3:3-5 area, where they lost their eyes, moved their eyes off of a thing, right? Which are those things that are coming from inside, that are causing the disconnection, which is what we ought to deal with. And because we continue to focus on the apple instead, you can never deal with the root causes.
Yeah, just question. I think that this explains very well the thing that let's say that there was old covenant, but in new covenant the level was higher. It was, and normally we have made it otherwise. We have said that as a Christian it's so easy, but now God has said us you should be a clean heart, a higher standard.
Yeah, because in the New Testament, why is it that the Bible says in the New Testament, in the Old Testament, you have laws written from out, but in the New Testament, it says it's written in your heart, because it's supposed to come back to
Inside.
relationship, truth, coming from inside.
Pastor,
Yes.
thank you very much, because there was a time I was doing a fellowship with my children. My senior son asked me, say, what was Satan doing there in the Garden of Eden? Now I understand.
Distracting them
yeah,
now,
putting on
taking their
answer him.
attention to the
He
things.
was asking me, so
outside.
why is he in the presence of
And
God?
that's what the same thing church is doing, you know. Not just Satan is doing it. Church is doing the same thing now. Focusing your attention on outside things instead of on inside things. Yes.
So now I'm seeing that the weapon that the enemy is using against us is distraction.
Distraction.
Yeah, distraction. No,
I said
Distracting
Satan
us.
is not powerful. It's only as powerful as he succeeds to deceive you.
yeah.
See, so he's trying to distract us to live from the outside in, when we're supposed to live from the inside out. This is meat. This is real. This is real meat.
Meat of the world.
Yes.